What's up, everybody? Welcome to York Reacts, and today we're going to be checking out a cutscene from Callisto Protocol that I personally happen to do the animation on. So if you guys are new to my channel, I do animation for a living. I used to work over at PlayStation. I now work over at another studio, but I happen to work on this game doing a bunch of cutscenes. I did all the body animation, and somebody else kind of came in and did the facial animation. So without further ado, let's jump in here. Let's take a look at this cutscene. If you have never played the game, you probably should go play it first and come back and check this out. And if you don't care about playing the game, then I guess it doesn't matter, right? But let's dive in here. Let's take a look at this cutscene and let's give you some cool behind the scenes stuff here, shall we? So let's take a look. To give you some context, they just crash landed here in this spaceship. Let's watch the cutscene all the way through, and then I'll slow motion and break it down and walk you through a bunch of stuff I did on here.
I made it. I told you not to worry. Max. Hang on, buddy, I'm coming.
Wow, it's so cool to see this finally rendered.
Hey. Whoa.
Whoa.
Chico. Oh, I didn't you. Listen. Hey, come on.
Wow. Seeing all the lighting and rendering makes this scene look so good. Last time I saw it, it was just kind of in Maya, or Motion Builder. Oh, that came out cool.
One life sign detected. Continuing search.
Nice.
Black Iron Security. You the pilot?
Yeah,
And him?
he's gone.
We'll just need the one. Okay, get you out of here. Manifest says you were running cargo out of the hangar. Don't get many of you freelancers out here.
Huh. Wonder why his hand's sinking into his shoulder.
Don't I know it?
Wasn't like that before.
Thermal regulators enabled.
First ship I ever lost.
Wow.
Reported by...
Let go of me!
She's the one who... Hey. Hold your chance, cargo jockey. You do your job.
Sorry,
You have to
guys.
do mine, all right?
Skipping a little bit.
Yes, sir. Whatever you say.
Yep, take him. Let's go. Take the girl, too.
What are you doing? Hey, I didn't do anything.
Alright, and that's basically the end of the cutscene. Which I didn't know this is the intro to the game. Really cool. So, to give you guys a gist of what that is now, so basically, in this animation, in this whole sequence, this whole thing that you just watched, I did all of the animation for all of the characters on just the body animation. So I did Jacob, I did this dead guy, and I did the girl, the robots, everything. The only thing I didn't do is the effects and camera moves and the texturing, right? The lighting, that type of stuff. I'm only responsible for animating the characters. Now, to break down some of this trailer here, or this cutscene here, one thing that was very, very difficult was that, let me turn off the volume here. One thing that was very difficult animating this scene was they had this harness around him. If you see this harness that's strapped to his chest, now before it wasn't connected to him, and now it looks like in the game they literally parented and stuck it to his chest, so everywhere he moves it's moving with him, which looks pretty good. Before it was kind of just sitting there and he was moving around in it, so that's something I noticed that I didn't do that part. That's something that somebody else came in and attached this thing on there or something. And that looks good. But from here on out, from this moment on out, this is the stuff where I did the animation on the on this upper chest piece thing that he takes off, right? His chair. So he comes over, grabs it, and kind of pulls it off, right? So this is all kind of hand animated, the part coming off. All of this motion here with Jacob is motion captured. It's on set, you know, with markers and all that stuff. You guys know how this stuff is done, especially if you're come to my channel at all. Now, what's cool about a lot of this stuff, like I was saying earlier, is that I haven't seen this animation yet since I worked on it like a long time ago in Motion Builder. So I didn't see like the snow effects and this lighting and the oh man, this looks really cool. I can't wait to put this in like my new demo reel and stuff like that. This looks so cool. Like I was very curious to see how this dead guy was going to look, because in my scene he just looked normal. He didn't have like a rotting face or any of that stuff. He just looked normal in my scene. So it was like kind of pretending. But now it's like bleeding from the mouth. You can see it looks like Two-Face and stuff. It's pretty crazy. It looks really gnarly. Like if you have kids, do not let them play this game if they're under 14 or something, you know, because they might have nightmares. So in this scene, a lot of these animations that I'm doing is I'm doing the animation of the fingers and the hands and all this stuff, and making sure that the lighter in this guy's hands looks good. I'm making sure that when it bounces on the ground, the animation looks nice, and all these different things is kind of my job behind the scenes here. Now, one thing that was kind of tough in this scene is this part here. So we didn't have the effects yet. We didn't have this thing laser cutting out the door or whatnot. So I kind of just made like a fake piece of a door, and then I animated the timing of that door, and then they kind of went in and used that timing to do this part here. And then before we had to we had a lot of the little adjustments that you do in these scenes are like, for instance, this robot, when he climbs through this door, normally when he climbs through the door, his foot would go right through the bottom of the door, because on set, they didn't think about this part right here of him like cutting out a shape and having to step over it. So one thing that you have to do as an animator is little stuff like that. So when he comes and steps right here and steps over this doorway, you have to lift his foot up more than it normally is, stuff like that. Sometimes as an animator, your job is really easy. You're just adjusting kind of big movements globally, sort of, to make sure that they don't clip the door or don't go through the floor or things like that. So like another thing right here was we didn't really have a door here as well. So I did the same thing. I brought in like this separate door from another scene, and I hand animated it kind of sliding over. And then later on, somebody from the team at Striking Distance came in and probably animated the door differently or brought in the correct door. But I did all the animation on this guy too, when he's holding this clipboard, all of these different little nuances. There's a spot here where he throws a mask to the guy. This part was kind of hard because I don't know if some of you are aware of this, but basically every time there's a prop in someone's hand and it switches hands or switches positions in the hand, you have to make a completely new constraint, and you have to kind of juggle that in the program, right? So sometimes, like in this scene right here, I had like 4 different constraints going on, you know, one there, one on his right hand, one on his left hand, then back to his right hand again, then back to his left hand again, right? You see these different things that have to kind of take place when somebody's shifting an object from hand to hand. And then here, I was kind of bummed out and disappointed because if you look closely, his pinky is kind of sinking through this guy's shoulder clothing. And that's a bummer, because when I did it, when I was in my scene in Motion Builder, it didn't look like that. His finger was properly above the shoulder, and I made sure that all that stuff looked as good as I can. So it's always a bummer when like the game finally comes out and it's on a cinematic, and then it's like messed up and you can see it clipping. That's such a bummer sometimes. But it's so cool to see my scene finally done in the game. It's cool to see literally millions of people go out and play this game and have fun with these scenes. And, you know, the game got tore apart because of a frame rate issue and a cache issue, but don't let that deter you. If you have not played this game is incredible. It's a great experience. It will keep you on your seat and keep you intrigued the entire way through, right? So if you are new to this channel, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed this little breakdown. There's not much more to this scene other than this little stuff, because like right here, they just end, they walk off. There's not much more to it, right? So there's not much more I can discuss on it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the little breakdown that I gave on that cutscene. It gives you some cool insights of kind of what I do on a day-to-day job on some of these games and these cutscenes. And if you are new here, make sure to smash the buttons down below. I appreciate all your time and support. There, I'll put up a little tag here up above. You can check out another cutscene that I worked on Callisto Protocol. I'm going to make a whole series of these, so I hope you guys kind of come and check them out and stay tuned for more to come. So thank you so much for your time and support, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace!